couple of weeks. I know. What's been going on? I'm going to start this video off by saying I've had enough of Hachette. And I have actually cancelled my premium subscription with them. We're up to issue, 33, 34 now? And I still haven't even got my first premium box from them. And then with my last delivery, which came this week, for issues something to 32 from them, there was a letter saying, hey, we've run out of premium box part 2. Somehow they don't have enough for everybody, so there's a delay on them, and I just went, that's it, I'm done, I've had enough. So that out of the way, I'm still getting issues because it's actually easy for me to go to my local news agency and just pick them up. So in this issue, you already know by the description, we've got issue 32, which has an apothecary in it. Whoops, dropped that one. The apothecary. Bang! Already got one of these guys. Love them. They were so fun. It is so fun to paint. The base is cool. We'll go in through more detail when we get into there, and I will do a close-up of that. Because I love the apothecary. Now, this is $20. That's 65. Pretty good savings if you manage to get your hands on these, because this was 3 weeks ago, but if you can get them or ask your news agency to get them back in again, it's worth getting. Maybe one or two. So this one will be for my Ultramarines. I've already got one for the Crimson Fist. So in saying that, guys, let's crack that issue open. We'll have a look at the magazine, have a little bit better look at the sprue, because it's a bit weird. Not weird, but it's not push fit, which I was really hoping for, but this one's blue, not grey, as it normally comes. So guys, let's get on to it. And here it is in all its glory. Alright, so the magazine literally is only focusing on the apothecaries. Nothing else in here. All apothecary. Which is pretty cool. There's a little story about apothecaries, Death Watch, Hive World. That's pretty cool. So let's just open the page. It's pretty much explaining what an apothecary is, and it's essentially a medic. As much as a medic in the 40k realm is one. Responsible for harvesting gene seeds from fallen space marines, and patching them up so they don't die. But let's face it, you're pretty much gonna die in 40k anyway. Prime Helix, explaining that. As you go down, just explaining a couple of things of what they do. Here's their war gear. So little spiky bits at the top, their gauntlet, the bit on the front, the special bolter that they have, and things like that. So yeah, pretty cool. And again, here it is a bit more detail. So here's that story I was talking about. In the depths of a hive, you've got a Death Watch apothecary who looks freaking amazing. Like, you have to admit, that looks cool. And just what's going on there. So, yeah, Death Watch, pretty cool. I do like them. Instructions on how to put this guy together, pretty straightforward. Now, I built mine in sub-assemblies. I end up leaving my leg off just so that you can actually paint all the details, because it's a little bit restricted. The vials are painted separately, and the weapon arm I painted separately as well. As you can see, it comes with a bit of I'll show you in a second the sprue, but it comes with a base topper, I guess, to put on top of your base. I painted all that separately before doing this, just so I could get all the details that I wanted done on that, because the base on this is part of the fun of this model. Now we move on to painting it. Obviously, the main armor color on this thing is white. We have Celestial Grey. It's a great starting point for painting your white. Absolutely lovely. Great. If you can get your hands on some Corax White spray, makes life even easier. Mephisto Red for the thing. blah, blah. I mean, you can change these colors if you want, guys. You don't have to stick with what it says in here, but, you know, McCrag blue, because the shoulder represents what legion they're from, and then the other one has the apothecary side. As you can see, we just go through, blah, blah. It's a long painting tutorial, because there's so much details, and we've got a couple of paints now to get all this thing done. Obviously, pulling a gene seed out of the ultramarine on the ground, and that's what it should look like roughly when you're done without any washes to it. Applying washes to it. Try and be it as neat as you can, especially around the armor. Not that you can't go back with Apothecary and fix it all up. Astro Granite is exactly what I used on my base, and I'll show you that later. And fixing mistakes, obviously. There we go. Just going back over your Apothecary and touching up colours here and there. Mission briefing, obviously using the Apothecary because we just got it. There's our rules for it. Back page, obviously nothing. And then we move on to everyone's favourite. What are we getting last week? Sweet, terrain. Gotta love this stuff. I love piping. This is the plasma conduits, and I love it. I think it's great, and I've seen some really cool stuff being done with this painted up. I'll just keep mine nice and simple. No need to go over the top. It's terrain. And then the week after that, we've got new villains, new characters. So, yeah, some new characters there. We'll probably go over them and Psyker stuff and all that. So there. Alright, so that's the magazine. Let's have a look at these sprues, shall we? So, they're blue. Now, I said before that I was hoping for push fit, and I meant the opposite. I was really hoping these would not be push fit in any way, because that'll ruin half of it. So, lots of little extras, little things. You got tons of options here, guys. So, you've got different options for the top of the claw thing here. So you got 1, 2, and then a couple of different additions to that. You've got a couple of different bolter options if you wanted to. There's the other one. Then you've got a helmeted head and a non, and then that's the base I was talking about there. Okay, now all painted up, you end up with something that looks similar to that. I have shown this off before. So there's the base. I've hidden majority of it with Astro Granite, given it a nice dark wash, and then, but I painted everything beforehand. Just stuck a decal there, and then I used Drakenhof Nightshade as the recess wash for this, and then I used my typical white painting scheme for it. And then just hit it with a matte varnish. Now on the hand, you notice there, he's actually got a organ, and I've hit that with some blood for the blood god, just to give it a bit more gross to it. And before I actually hit it with the matte varnish, it looked absolutely wet and nasty. And obviously base. So that's it, guys. That's issue 32 at Apothecary. An issue I'm finally excited about. So here we go. Have a good night, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.